And I'm on a mission. I ride dolo, so you better pay attention. Purple berry cushion, I'm double fisted. Lights, camera, action, I'm so God gifted. play the hand I was dealt, I'm prolific. A thoroughbred if you wanna be specific. Dapper like Dan, I'm so exquisite. I drop step and make sure I don't lose my pivot.
What's going on, Porch Gang Cloud family? Your neighborhood friendly fat man.
Certified in these streets for cheesy. I'll end a nigga career for talking too breezy. I'm a bad, bad man. Call me Apollo Greasy.
Shout out Mall Black, KTA, Mr. Activated himself, Calligraphy LLC. This song's a banger. You guys can find all that on YouTube Music. They are on Spotify, iTunes, you name it. Calligraphy's THC out on all platforms. If you haven't went and streamed that, you need to. Those numbers are... The song's doing great. Do not fall behind on that. You can also buy it on iTunes and all major platforms. They will be performing live September 16th and 17th at the Camp Out. Shout out OV DJ. I actually hit him up the other day and was like, hey, can we slide Simba in there somewhere? So he's going to see what he can do. It's like a Simba that reached out to him too after the last event to see if maybe there's somewhere he can slip him in there. So I'm hoping. I mean, we got Muck Sticky headlining, Calligraphy's playing, you got Simba, like, bunch of really badass DJs. That'd be a good night. That'd be a good night. I'm sure a couple of the DJs would, you know what I mean, would shave 5-6 minutes off each one of their sets. Slide him on up in there. You got 4 or 5 decent songs set. But he didn't play that long. Did fucking great. We need to get my mans on there. So if you guys want to see Silent Simba, make sure you guys tag at OVDJ. We try to make that happen. Who we got in the chat? Hannah, hello, darling. Sparks is in the chat. Hello. Vicky, how you doing? Kasha, hello. Shay Campbell, what's up, darling? Keisha, you could be down here watching, just saying. Let's see here. Who else we got? Marcus Kidder, what up? Bubba. Big Jer, how you doing? Shay Campbell, hi. Let's see. Mama Wolf, glad you made it. Thank you for reaching out to me. I'm sorry it took me a minute to see your message, but as soon as I did, I got right back to you. Congratulations on your sobriety, and congratulations on not giving in, because you would have absolutely hated yourself the next day. Let's see here. Robbie J, what's up, Bubba? Kay Klingman, hello, darling. How you doing? Tanesme's in the chat. Brandon Cameron, hi. My man's got PTSD like a mug. You crack off one of his Nerf guns and he flinches real hard. Linda Dobranetsky, thank you for coming in tonight, darling. I hope you had an amazing day. Who else we got? Megan McLean, hello. Welcome. Glad you could make it. Tonight's going to be a good one. Hannah, please give Patrick a hug for me. Tell your mama I love her. Her mama being Amy. One, I haven't seen a Sparks' mama in this chat for a while. So shout out Kelly Lothry. I have not seen her in the chat in, like, forever. Jesse Marshall, hello. Amy, there you are. I was just talking about you. Keisha, good. We're here. Doors open. Chris Wick, glad you could make it in. Guys, Adam, how you doing, man? Glad you made it in. Glad you guys got it here before we got started, because, hello, they announced that aliens are real. Like, we didn't already know that. Like, we've been saying this all along. But they finally come out and said, aliens are real. So with that, everyone's like, oh, that's cool, with so many questions. My question is, what about the people that have been locked in the Bing Bing for the past couple fucking years because they said they were abducted and had something stuffed in their butt? What about them?
You mean a probe?
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever happened, whether, I mean, they were in a cornfield, so that doesn't mean, I mean, like, somebody else didn't walk up, hit him.
Professional term, bud, would be probed.
Hit him up with their thing, would do,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, just saying the jury's not out, but you've got more people, like, than a couple that have said that they have had some type of experience with an extraterrestrial being, and y'all told them they were crazy for years. Literal years. Had on medication, all kinds of shit. When they telling everybody, nah, like, I know what I seen. No, you didn't. You didn't see none of that. That is the most manipulative shit I've ever heard in my life. And y'all just gonna, like, slide past the fact that you don't have a bunch of people on fucking medication nowadays because of this, telling them they have borderline personality disorder, this, that, and the third.
aliens are gonna invade.
We're gonna get into that for sure. Because I want to know, what is this covering up? Because they even said we have crafts, absolutely. They got, the biology did not come back of human descent on whatever was piloting said vessel when it crashed, and they have more than a handful of them. He was also asked if they are still in contact or have been in contact, like, recently. And of course, danced around the question a little bit, and he's like, as we say, as we've told the news source that they leaked everything to, they have had, you know what I mean, confirmation of discussions between beings, whatever. I say they're running out of time to give us those goddamn flight logs that they haven't given us yet. And they need one last big play, so this would be it. Got to give them something. They ain't gonna give up. They ain't gonna give up their weird friends.
Don't they have to though?
Freedom of Information Act, yes, they absolutely do. But what they do is they leak small stuff like that in tabloids and lesser believed news teams. They'll put that segment of some truth right in between boy eats mother and becomes wolf and Loch Ness Monster may be your aunt. Page 31. You know what I mean? So no one really pays attention to it. See, I heard the sneeze, but there was no at the end. So, work on that. But you know what I mean? Like, they're running out of time to give us those flight logs. And I want them. Like, I want them. Because, I mean, I've seen the dark web version of that list, but I want, like, what their official statement of it is. Why haven't we seen any of Ghislaine Maxwell's interviews? Heard, like, really any of her testimony, really? Like, they gave you bits and pieces of whatever, but, like, it's supposed to be, like, completely public information. Whatever was used as evidence in that case, unless it was sealed evidence, like, we should be able to know because of the Freedom of Information Act. So why all of a sudden now? That's my, you know what I mean? Like, let's be honest here. There's always a reason for their madness. Why now? They could have told us about this forever ago. Let's act like alien abduction and shit ain't been part of our culture as far as sci-fi since as far back as you can remember. We've been asking the exact same questions, but I think the internet has a lot to do with why all of a sudden, because they can't keep under wraps no more. It's too easy to post videos. And they can you know what I mean, they can call them crazy or whatever, and you know what I mean, send bots out to do whatever. But at the same time, you've got Discovery Channel, got ex-admirals and shit, Air Force pilots that are talking. There's a whole fucking documentary now about UFOs. So, why now are you just finally saying, okay, look, we know. You've put out every video that's on the internet of some type of unidentified object. They can't take them all down, so I mean, naturally, you've got a bunch. Clearly, like, you've still been trying to cover it up for this time. Why all of a sudden now do you think, okay, now that our trust in the government at this point in time is at like 0. The average American doesn't give 3 flying fucks what's going on there because we got our own problems. Between the price of eggs, gas, food in general, what most people are making in a normal fucking day-to-day job, like we don't give a fuck what they're doing right now. Go ahead and do what you gotta do. The people over here are just trying to survive. So you pick this point now to say, okay, you know what? I think they're ready. We can tell them. E.T. may have been real. Might have been. Maybe. We might have fucked up. Because that also doesn't explain how, like, we've been to the moon. They also said that we knew everything about the Earth. We were told there was the Earth, the crust, the mantle, the core. That's it. Where it's a big fucking sphere with layers. Like Shrek said, we're like
an onion.
Onion. Layers. Mm-hmm. But if you dug straight down, you'd get into a molten pit and die.
Yep.
Suppose that's somewhere close to hell. Not my words. Anyhow, now, all of a sudden, we don't know nothing about our Earth. There are scientists that have come out and said, look, they've been taking a stab at it, shot in the dark for years. They were hoping, like, with the research they've done, compiled with as much other research as they were able to do at the time, we assumed we knew everything there was to know about our fucking globe. Come to find out, they don't even know what the center of the Earth looks like. We've never been able to get down that far. So it's pure speculation, and they just assume, because we do have volcanoes and they do erupt, that has to come from somewhere, and that they found pockets under the ocean that are heated up enough that they leak into the ocean and cause a super hot spot, so they just assume. But that could be another layer to our little crust there that is just molten magma that flows down. We have no fucking clue. None. So why all of a sudden now, after you've taught us and told us that the school system was educated enough to educate me that I had to go to school, I couldn't miss, I had to keep a certain grade point average, I had to go a certain amount of fucking days to go listen to this bullshit that you said I needed to know, and now all of it's wrong.
All of it.
Bingo. So why now? And not enough people are asking. Everyone's talking shit about, oh, they're just trying to cover up the inflation and blah, 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 blah. I mean, that's cool, I guess. But there's got to be a bigger reason that they're just now deciding, okay, you know what? They're ready. After COVID and everything else, they're ready. Go ahead and tell them. Like, I'm starting to believe that, like, is another good conspiracy theory to look into. People assume that when CERN was turned on in CERN, Switzerland, that it created a black hole. The Earth was sucked into that black hole in 2012, and we're on a completely different dimension and timeline. And that's why things are similar, but still very vastly different. It's close enough, same, but different. But that's like when like one of the longest running theories so far is that when CERN turned on, when they discovered the Higgs and boson or whatever it was, the God particle, when they discovered that they also shifted time, created a black hole, Earth's gravitational thing pulled into it, and then we ended up in an alternate timeline. Does that sound like crazy? Absolutely. You know what I mean? But, absolutely. But why is everything so fucking different? Like the Mandela effect isn't even like a Mandela effect anymore. It's just like a gigantic list compiled of things that just I know for right. Like I know for a fucking fact what I remember. But they have video proof where you go back and watch the shit, like with the Queen and everything else. He only said it one time in a fucking live performance of the world thing. He only said it one time in a live performance, and that was what like apparently captivated everybody, and that's what they remember. So when they finish out that spot, that's, you know what I mean? Like, I think it was at the end of, like, Mighty Ducks when they played the live version of that. And that's where everyone picked it up from, which sounds absolutely asinine to me because I know a bunch of people that have never seen Mighty Ducks a day in their life.
What?
For the whole Queen, We Are the Champions thing. Everyone says that he's never said of the world until they did the live, I think it was like Wrigley Field or some fucking field show where he said it was at the very end of the thing, the very end of the song, finished out the set, and he said of the world. They played that version of it at the end of a Mighty Ducks movie, and they swear that that's where most people attribute knowing that line, and why everyone just puts it in there at the end of every time they sing it, but he never actually did that.
Yes, he did.
And there's video. Go watch the video.
Let's say he did.
Watch the video. It's wild.
Our blood, what's up, gang?
Michael Aliseo, what's up, Bubba? You okay, Dustin? Don't seem very happy. He's stoned.
I'm chilling.
Logan Sandy, what up?
I'm just listening.
Jennifer Ann, you were supposed to have done some research on this.
Earth's flat.
Now cite your sources.
I'm a flat earther.
Are you just saying you're a flat earther to piss me off?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
Earth's all flat.
See that parts of the flat Earth thing I understand though, but parts of it I'm just like,
Sasquatch is real.
I believe that. Actually, hold on. Pull out my handy dandy notes. Daddy came prepared, okay? Came prepared. So, actually, the FBI.
He said the FBI. Which one?
There it is. The FBI has actually been tracking Bigfoot, and because of the Freedom of Information Act, you have access to at least whatever documents they have. They don't have one that is dead yet, at least, like, well, they have a few people that say that they have a Sasquatch, but it hasn't actually fully been determined that's what the body parts actually are. So they're still, but apparently they have been tracking something that matches most of the description. The only problem they ever have is because the only pictures that they seem to ever get out on the internet, or at least allow to stay on the internet, are those grainy, pixelated ones where it looks like a guy in a gorilla costume just standing off in the distance scratching his ass. So, or just like walking across the field. And a lot of people feel they do that for a reason, to make people feel that, you know what I mean, you're dumb. But the FBI seems to think that they actually do have some type of evidence supporting chasing around a goddamn Sasquatch.
Why the Loch Ness Monster?
He wants about tree fitty. Sorry.
I can do is 325.
I believe the Loch Ness Monster is real. I also believe the Kraken was real, but I believe they're just really big ass fucking octopuses because
That's what the Kraken was.
it's a fish story.
Yeah, it's.
These guys seen it. They were terrified of it because I mean, look, a giant fucking squid.
You ever seen a giant squid?
Them things are fucking
You ever seen a super
humongous.
squid? Look them up on Facebook. Look them up on YouTube.
So-
They're fucking huge.
If you're in like a fucking rowboat or even a smaller like just fishing boat, that's going to seem ginormous, especially if it's up to the surface of the fucking water. That thing is 4 times the size of that boat you're in. So naturally, it's going to look like what? This gigantic fucking sea monster, and its tentacles came up out of the fucking shit and was over the thing of the boat. It ain't a big boat. It couldn't have been that big of a boat. So with that being said, I think it was just a gigantic fucking squid. They're like, oh, there's all these big ass monsters, and the sharks. Megalodons were a whole thing up until like the last, like, you know what I mean,
We've only
couple
got
hundred
like
years.
20% of the oceans like really figured out. Like there's still a bunch that we really don't know. So there's some shit that
8%.
8%.
Kate motherfucking Savage is in the chat. How you doing, darling? Ryan Keener, glad you could join us. They're still finding megalodon teeth and shit in small rivers and
I
streams.
bet they still exist.
I think so too, because all they would do is go deeper in the ocean. Like point blank and period. They have video proof of like big ass sharks. They have found them on Google image searches. They've found them on satellite feeds. Like they've seen them. So to say that they're just non-existent is absolutely ridiculous, considering we only use a small portion of the ocean. We have direct line to where we're going. It ain't like you're out just, you know what I mean, kicking a left and seeing what's going on over here. That doesn't happen. It's straight line there, straight line back. They've been using the same route of currency for fucking ever. We don't know what's over top of the fucking ice wall because nobody has that much gas and that type of a fucking plane that could fly from where you would have to go to get over top of the ice wall to see what's on the other side of it. Then they finally admitted that there's so much documentation of people that have gone over the ice wall and found that there's a whole other continent that we know nothing about. Where the fuck did Pluto go? This is just shit that, you know what I mean?
Where'd Pluto go?
It's still there. It just doesn't have the attributes to be a planet.
Bullshit! Not what I was told!
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Pluto's a planet.
According to Martins Ferry High School when I was in school, this is pre-2006.
JM said the same thing.
You know what I mean? This is almost the late 1900s. I fucking hate y'all.
We had we had 9 planets and all that.
Late 1900s, we still had 9 planets.
Now it's just a dog.
And that's some
There's
bullshit.
a bunch of numbers
How
now.
a dog rate be like owning a dog?
You know you could buy a planet now?
Yeah! You can buy stars too!
How? How can you buy something you ain't never gonna see?
I can, well,
How can you sell something you're never gonna be able to actually own?
the same reason people buy timeshares.
The fuck?
You pay almost full price for a piece of property that you got to share with 12 other people at a certain time of the year. You get it for about a month and a half. How we doing this? Same reason they buy timeshares. I can also become a lord. I can buy a 1-by-1 plot of land and have lord added to my title.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, you can buy a foot square property in Scotland and become a lord.
I'm about to become Lord Porch Gang in this bitch, bro. Lord Neighborhood Friendly Fat Man. We should do it.
We should. That'd be lit.
Lord and Lord Dabs with Dads. Yes! It sounds regal as fuck.
I like it.
I'd hit it. We gotta do this. And we're also gonna buy a star, too. Why? What's the point? Because I'm a star for real.
I'm not buying a fucking star, bro.
Watch me.
Somebody else owns it.
I'm not spending money on a fucking star.
When it's my time, that's when it's my part of the timeshare for the star. It's gonna be, I don't even know yet, but it'll be something epic. Because it has to be, you own a fucking star. I'm a motherfucking star boy.
You're paying to look at the sky.
I mean, and you are. You're paying to look up something you can do for free. But when you look up and say, I have enough stupid money that I was able to just throw $150,000 at a star. Yes.
It's gonna cost you more than 150.
Right after I become dude, they were letting you name stars for your kids for like $43.99 or some shit back in the day. You know what I'm talking about, the infomercial. Name a star after your kid, give it to them for their birthday, you know what I mean? Whatever. Yeah, bro. I almost bought my 5th grade, you know what I mean, like my 5th grade squeeze, the Milky Way. My mom wouldn't give me her credit card information. We was still on dial-up. Bitches.
Yeah, well.
Oh, very smart.
You know what I mean? Like, I was still listening to ding, 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 ding. So, my mom's wasn't letting me buy no stars. I couldn't buy the Milky Way, which turns out that was a good thing because she ain't really a great person now that we grown up. So, touch the bullet on that star. You know what I'm saying? I said what I said. So, another little point. They found giants. They've been telling us for years, giants don't exist. There's no way. It's empirically possible. They have fucking photographic and video proof of them bringing out bodies that were like 8, 9 fucking feet in length. Their feet, like they had like Shaq. I'm pretty sure Shaq is a descendant of these people. Which could you imagine the hang down in that tribe? Jesus. You'd have to walk around with boxing gloves. Just try to clean up every fucking room. Like, get away from me, Bill. I'm done talking to you. You know what I mean? Couldn't do that. But they had this whole cave. You know what I mean? And they're just all just strategically. And like they had like. I think it looked like 2 dudes, skeletons. So I mean, just saying. They are born this way. Even when you're a giant. But they was like either one was covering the other or they died snuggling. You know what I mean? Like, they knew it was the end of their time, so they was getting their freak on, and they all laid up like this, but they, like, way too fucking big, like Bevo Luddy. They got all kind of body, and they pulled, like, 12 of these bitches out of this fucking cave. Now, certain parts of Africa, they've been bringing up and excavating these fucking bodies that are, like, about that size, but wider, and everyone's like, oh, those are photoshopped images, and blah, 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 blah. You can't Photoshop a video that easily. Especially where you have people that are actually like using motor skills and functions and brushing and dusting. It's very, if they're all moving at the exact same time, the exact same pace, yeah, you could because you do it frame by frame. But when you've got multiple people in one shot doing a million different freaking motions and mannerisms, it's very hard to clip that kind of shit apart and make it look flawless and seamless. So they was definitely excavating skulls that were like Megamind-ish. Right, Easter Island head. That's the other thing. Like when they're bringing up all these fucking big bricks and shit, how they built the pyramids. Cool. I'll bite. They manufactured them, whatever. They even said some of those were drug across the fucking desert. How?
A giant.
With all the manpower you would have, even let's say you had like early technology and they had a pulley system. What is that pulley system going to do for you in the middle of the desert, dragging these gigantic blocks? And look how many of it took. So how many people did you have to drag all these big-ass blocks? Because they said they weren't manufactured there. They were made here and brought there. How did you do that? If there's no mode of transportation, like their explanations just haven't added up. Now, they're finally going back and actually giving us a little bit, like, okay, look, maybe y'all weren't completely crazy.
They wrapped it in magnets
The aliens built the pyramids.
and reversed the pole.
See, that's what I think.
I mean, yeah, that too.
I think. Like, just the amount of stuff, and like they said, for that Project Bluebeam, I said what I said. I'm end up on a watch list at the end of this one. But nonetheless, Project Bluebeam was something that it's been a fucking theory for a while. But it's the way they were going to, supposedly they were supposed to fake some way. They're going to have the fake return of Christ, and it was supposed to be the Antichrist and all this other weird shit, because of course they have to spin it like religious, which is just hella weird to me. But supposedly that's how they're supposed to cancel out the one religion with this Antichrist, and it's supposed to bring about the New World Order. But at least as far as the steps are concerned, like the rest of the explanation makes no sense. There was a sci-fi thriller there's a bunch of shit that kind of goes into that, whatever. But it's supposed to. I'm going to pull it up. Because I ain't trying to give misinformation. Facts. I'm old enough to tell you Google is, like, I can tell you they're wrong. Facts.
You are older than
Google better respect its elders. No, sorry, I was doing all kind of shit. But it claims that NASA is attempting to implement a new age religion with the Antichrist, blah, 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 ahead of the New World Order. But what they want to do is it says that, like, certain events are going to happen, like earthquakes, whatever, COVID, like, where they said that a vaccine would kind of appear out of nowhere. But it's all basically built around this whole 5G deal. Everyone is saying that with all these cataclysmic events happening, the government is kind of playing on the conspiracy theory. And that's why they're implementing the 5G, because 5G is supposed to be good for, like, holograms and stuff. And that's how they had the Tupac Shakur live concert. Some of these football teams in, like, really, like, big zoos have these shows where they have, big cats jumping around in the sky, and they look real as shit. And it's just a hologram. But, you know what I mean? And it's just whatever. It's something to do with the 5G waves, the way it can bounce off. We went 5G because the government said it would be better for streaming. And as far as, like, their satellites and with as fast-paced as life has gotten with cell phones and shit with technology, 5G was supposed to be able to support that much frequency all the time, where it said it would have crashed 4G after a while, and 4G didn't have the reach that 5G does, supposedly. But they've also said that 5G has been attributed to cancer and all kind of other crazy shit. Google that. Like, there's people that, like, were building the 5G towers, learned what it actually was, and, like, went and whistle blew. And they're like, look, I don't feel comfortable doing what we're doing. They quit their jobs. A couple of them were like, look, I'm making videos. They might have, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. You can fill in the blanks there. I'm only gonna put myself on a watch list so much tonight. But they believe that they're playing off with the whole 5G thing to where they can stage or at least simulate an alien. I don't want to use the word invasion, but that's what most people would understand. They ain't gonna show up trying to, like, you know what I mean? But they're going to try to make it look like there's aliens trying to make contact, whatever. And they believe that that is supposed to scare us into going with this new religion and bringing on the New World Order, which everyone has heard. If you haven't, do some Google research. That's a whole different live altogether. But in order for them to do this, they would have had to at least drop the knowledge which the dude's name was Sergey Manast. He is 96 is when they were making the call that this whole Project Looping thing was going to be a thing. And a lot of it does have some striking similarities to some of the stuff that has happened since 2020. Why else would they tell you aliens exist? We gain nothing from it. We still don't see them personally. So now it's another thing where we just kind of got to take people's fucking... You got to take the government's word for it again. Who else we got? Pink Sock Podcast. Mike, glad you could make it. Speaking of Mike, since he wasn't able to make it tonight, we're coming into August, guys, which means August 20th. Your boy, Mike Houston and Sable Vance are going to be in the Belmont Gym doing my first stand-up comedy act back in probably close to 8 years, 5, 6, something like that. We're well over the 5-year mark. You're not going to miss this. It's $5 a ticket. That's it. There will be refreshments there. You guys need to get a hold of me and get your tickets. I'm probably going to do another giveaway here within a week. I want to be able to give more people, at least if you're local, an opportunity, unless you're willing to make that trip in by the 20th. Because once we hit the Jelly Roll concert, we have 15 days to my birthday and 5 days to the comedy night that if it goes well, I've got about 3 other venues from Steubenville to Pittsburgh that would be willing to let us set up and do another stand-up night there and actually make it a thing. Calligraphy said they would be down too. Simba said he'd be down to play. That way you're getting comedy and music all in the same night. $5. You can't beat that. And it's something to do. So get a hold of me, get a hold of anybody, any part of the crew. Let them know that you need to get in touch with me to get your tickets. You're going to want to get them now because they are going quick. I'm pretty sure we're already almost out of tickets, which I didn't think we were going to get close to that. I think you had like 100 tickets, some shit like that. And like they're almost all gone. Which is dope. I cannot thank you guys enough for supporting that. This is something that Mike wanted to do really bad, so he was like, he wasn't actively going to like find comedy nights. So set one up for himself. I'm proud of you for following your dreams, Bubba. You need to come back onto the show, though. I don't think we've had you on the show in a couple weeks. We need updates. I know you were on your diet, health stuff. Let me know what's going on. They want to know, too. And if you guys want to, you guys can find him at all my links, /PinkSlock Podcast. The dude's on everything. Let's see here. Robbie J, night love. We love y'all here this morning. Have a good night, Sparks. We love you. Heading to bed. Thanks, Matt. Have a good night. Let's see here. All right. Make sure I didn't miss too much. Scroll up a little bit. I'm glad to see that Dank did absolutely no research. So, since you didn't, how was Fortnite?
It was great.
Any dubs?
Oh yeah, buddy. Oh yeah. Like 4 or 5. About like 15 apiece. You know what I mean? 15 kills. I was sitting there. I was playing. Smith died, bro. Like, he split up. I was going one way. He turned around and ran off. The other way got killed. My man got killed halfway through the match. He's a reboot card. I can't even get to the reboot. So his reboot card just disappears. So I'm running this match by myself. The whole fucking match. From beginning to end by myself. Caught the dub. Came in clutch.
Matt, how deep is that hole you put yourself?
Hey, I looked some shit up, bro. That's why I said, the Earth's flat. You know what I'm saying? Loch Ness Monster.
Those are the
Sasquatch,
top 3 biggest fucking conspiracy theories that have been around
I seen
forever.
the 5G.
He hit Google search one time and said,
I did.
Yep.
I did. I saw 30 of them, so I went through the list of 30. I saw a couple I liked, and I picked them.
He went to the top 3.
Top 30.
Top
30. And it wasn't the top 3. I picked one that was like 28.
No, I'm saying legitimately, the 3 that you picked are the top 3 that are ever even spoke about. When you say conspiracy theory, it says, like, the Loch Ness
Okay, the
Monster,
government killed
Sasquatch.
JFK. Is that good enough for you?
We've even talked about that on the show before.
I didn't even hear it.
We're talking new conspiracies.
I don't remember that one.
The government did it. Of course, in the new clear footage, you can see the driver turn around like he's got a pistol in his hand. Go back, check the footage. He spins around because it has them captain's chairs. Bloop, bloop, bang! And she hopped out the back. So, yep, we know.
Jackie was in on
Oh, Jackie knew.
it.
Jackie was Courtney Love before she was Courtney. Before Courtney Love was Courtney Love.
Queen Elizabeth I was a man.
That's all right. Prince, is it Prince Harry? They think he's a vampire.
Yeah,
because he's descended.
See, I seen that one too
from Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah, see,
and most of his
same thing I did, motherfucker.
Most of his family lineage
cap on me for that shit. He did the same thing.
That's why the ginger.
I've been talking the whole goddamn time. But
because you wrote it down don't mean nothing. I still look. See, I'll even show you how I look.
Man, he looked for 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, while he's taking a poop.
Conspiracy theories.
It was longer than that because he was stuck in bed.
And I'd say when you click that, everything you're talking about is the first thing you're going to scroll past.
Look, right there. This is what I clicked. Right here.
Yeah, Esquire. You know you can count for that one.
Hey, look, the moon landing was fake.
Even worse, I can change that my damn self. They also said Wikipedia said Abe Lincoln was a vampire hunter. They went along with the movie.
Disney created Frozen as a distraction.
Well, yeah, they did that. Actually, me, you, and Mike Usnick talked about that one because they did it as a distraction. So whenever you type in Frozen, it takes you to the algorithm takes you to Frozen the movie. It doesn't take you about anything to do with Walt Disney and his body being frozen inside a freaking Disneyland or Disney World because of cryogenics.
Denver International Airport is the Illuminati's headquarters.
We talked about that too.
No, we did.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
Bro, I know I be high, but I'm not that high all the time. We never talked about that. Cody, no the fuck we didn't.
Oh, you gonna tell him he's wrong?
Show me the footage. Yeah, hell yeah. I'm
scrolling back that far. Denver International Airport, we talked about the paintings, the weird-ass paintings that are on the wall when you go in through there. We also talked about the guy that said that he had a first-hand encounter when he hit an elevator, went down the elevator, and supposedly ended up in this bathroom that was like 6 times bigger than him. And it's just starting to ring anybody's fucking bell. We've talked about this.
I don't watch it.
Right.
The Titanic didn't actually sink.
No, actually, they think it was the Olympia. Or the Olympic. One of the two.
Olympic.
But Olympic. Because it was older and JP Morgan knew that he stood to make a shitload of money. And what's even funnier is all of his competition was on the fucking ship that night. He canceled his ticket like hours before it actually took off. So he was able to collect the insurance money. He turned around, G's shit ever, turned around and bought all of his competition shit with the insurance money after them going down with that ship. All they had to do was swap the name. It was a brand new ship. He made a killing on that one. And subsequently took out all of his competition, owns all of the stocks for all of their businesses. Yes, that was like the ultimate like checkmate.
Yeah, because the two ships were so identical
Yes.
Yeah, it's
that they couldn't tell them apart.
That's the thing. They're awesome.
I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theory nut. Just a little bit.
Well, good. That's why you're the one talking and not me.
People want
You're not smoking.
No, you're the one. No, this is a you thing, not me.
You haven't rolled
I
a
don't think
single
conspiracy
blunt.
theories.
That's what we've been sitting there hitting fucking dabs with him.
I ain't hit shit.
It's dabbing with dads.
I haven't hit shit this whole life.
Yep, we hit them all before the live.
Them motherfuckers over there hitting dabs. That was.
We pre-gamed hard.
We did it.
I saw it.
We didn't want to smoke anything. Just wait for this cough. You
Man,
gotta,
fuck
you gotta
you.
hit this.
Jesus. Let's see here.
That's why I ain't hitting it.
Nah, you gotta hit it.
Gotta hit what? That's how you end up on sites, you know? That's my answer to everything. Everything. That's how you end up on site. But no, dude, you can get into, what is it, Project Paperclip. There's
You got man, just throw it here. I got one. Excuse me.
I'm getting there.
Why you over there? Purple picking it? I just need your little dipper device. Probably use that.
There you are, sir. So, Operation Paperclip was a secret United States intelligence program in which more than 1,600 German scientists, engineers, and technicians were taken from the former Nazi Germany. And what they did, they developed how the media and shit runs today. They found out that they... Let's go a little deeper here.
I didn't see shit.
They basically found that they were able to... That's how they could put like hidden messages and shit into your radio. They learned how to manipulate people as far as like the propaganda and the ways to like help with like the war and shit. They found different ways to tap into people's thought processes as far as like what you watch, what you hear on a day-to-day basis, all that subliminal shit. And they ran it forever, which also bled into the MK Ultra project, which most of the people who were part of the MK Ultra project ended up being some of the most devastating serial killers like that we know. Timmy McVeigh, the bomber, he was part of MK Ultra. Yeah, that's, and they actually say that MK Ultra is still a thing to this day, like with most of the celebrities. That's why when they show the videos of them, like not like someone walk past, tap them, and then they just nod out on camera real quick. They say that their handler's supposedly close and that they're starting to talk too much. It's like, quiet them down. But yeah, they use psychedelic and psychotropic drugs to mess with people's minds.
Bro.
And they showed them like violent imagery and shit, like kind of something similar to like the Russian sleep experiment, but just not as like brutal. They didn't have like locked in a room for 30 days, like in the dark, messing with me, playing certain like music and like certain sounds and tones, sounds of screaming, bombs dropping, all kind of other shit, and just to see like the massive effects of like sleep deprivation. And when they walked into the room after, all of them were dead, emaciated, super skinny. The one was in there biting chunks out of himself, was actually still alive, and had just completely like went batshit crazy. And they have pictures of these guys from after that, eyes all sunk in and shit, like it looks like something right out of a horror film. and was done on purpose, just to see what will happen if you stay awake too long, to see the effects and toll that it has. Not being eaten, so you know what I mean. So they were malnourished. They were literally eating the other dead bodies, and the one dude was just sitting in the corner screaming his head off. Like, that would be fucking wild to walk into. Dude's got blood all over him. Everyone's got a nice big chunk taken off of him. Like, that'd be a little wicked.
Cannibalism at its finest.
Well, facts. So, MK Ultra was kind of similar as far as like the mental manipulation with the imagery, but just they weren't locked in a room in the dark for 30 days. But they say that it's still actually in use today and prevalent, but it's also been called one of the biggest conspiracy theories like ever, because there's declassified information that you can find. It's on the internet. You just gotta search for it. Like, there's more than enough evidence supporting all of it. And they have a lot of stuff that has been declassified since even, then. But most of the participants were drugged, they were taking hallucinogens, whatever, and then they would tell them certain things and implant certain things just to see how they could tweak. And they actually used some of those tactics. That's actually how they started using, like, for like wartime torture and stuff. They learned through a lot of projects like that. So they didn't have to actually like go in there and beat people. It was they learned over time how to manipulate people's minds, at least as far as to get them to do what you want. But almost anyone who was a part of that original first project went on to kill and hurt a lot of people. The male bomber dude, the Unabomber, part of the MK Ultra project. Mm-hmm. And I fully believe the Hollow Earth theory is real, and no one's telling me different. I believe that shit's real as fuck. I think so.
The U.S. helped Hitler escape.
The U.S. probably did help Hitler escape, because look how many like Nazi scientists. Him and Tupac are all down in Cuba.
Right.
And there's so many people that still argue that, like, there is so much proof of people even saying, like, no, you definitely, if you wanted to be seen, you'd be seen. And now there's a killer MC is showing up like, no, I'm him. Raps just like him, sounds just like him, same facial features. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Let's see here. Night off, first day back to work. Tomorrow, summer break is over. Back to the grind. We'll still be here every Monday and Friday for you, darling. I would love to hear more of these theories. Marcus, I'm actually going to start a series on our YouTube and on TikTok going into stoner conspiracy theories. We're going to get stoned and we're going to talk about conspiracy theories. But apparently I'm going to be doing that by myself. He's going to be here for emotional support.
Got you, dog.
I'm starting to get used to that.
I'll do it in the back.
With that being said, we'll see you guys Friday night. Love, peace, chicken grease. Hit the rock. Don't smoke it. Drive safe. Wear condoms. Love y'all.
Have babies.
All
No
of it.
laughing.